The worst day of my life wasn't when my ex hurt me. It was when my own father invited him to Christmas after everything he did to me. And when I walked into the house that night, everyone went silent like I was the problem. This is the story of how my family betrayed me and how I walked away stronger. My name is Emily Carter, 28 years old, living in Ohio. And like most people my age, I just wanted a peaceful holiday season. No drama, no chaos. Just family, but life doesn't give warnings, it just changes. I had been single for 8 months after ending the most painful relationship of my life. My ex Jason wasn't just toxic, he was manipulative, controlling, the kind of man who apologizes with flowers but ruins your self-worth in private. I finally left after he screamed at me so loudly that my neighbor called the police. That night, I packed everything I owned into 2 suitcases and promised myself, never again. I choose peace now. I went no contact. Blocked him everywhere. Changed my number, but trauma has a way of clinging to you. Even after months, I still jumped whenever someone slammed a door. And the only safe place I trusted was my parents' home. At least I thought so. It was December 18th when everything began to crumble. I had just finished decorating my small apartment, nothing big. Just a little tree and a warm yellow throw blanket over the couch. I was sipping hot chocolate when my phone rang. Dad. I smiled and picked up. Hi, sweetheart. He said warmly. You're coming for Christmas dinner, right? Of course, I said. Wouldn't miss it. There was a pause. A strange, heavy pause. Well, listen, he said. I invited someone. Someone I think deserves another chance. My stomach tightened. Who? A relative I disliked? A family friend I barely knew. Who? I asked. And then he said it. Jason. My heart stopped. I froze so hard that my mug slipped from my hand and shattered across the floor. Dad. What? He sighed. The kind of sigh people give when they think you're being unreasonable. He reached out to me, Dad said calmly. He said he regrets everything. He's been going to church. He wants to apologize. My voice cracked. He abused me. Dad. Silence. Then he said words I will never forget. People deserve second chances. Especially around Christmas, I felt like I'd been stabbed. My own father. Defending the man who broke me. Within 2 hours, everyone in the family knew. My Aunt Lisa texted, you should hear him out, honey. It's Christmas, my cousin Daniel wrote. It's awkward if you don't come. Just be civil. My own mother said, sweetheart, it's only for a few hours, only my younger sister. Mia stood by me. She called immediately. Tell me you're not going, she said. I swear, if he shows up, I'm walking out with you. I wanted to cry. But I was too angry. Too shocked. My family wasn't divided. They all chose him. Except Mia. I spent the night pacing. Do I go and show them I'm stronger? Or do I stay home and confirm what they already believe, that I'm dramatic? By midnight, my heart was pounding in my chest. How could my own parents value peace over my safety? How could they invite the man who made me afraid to sleep for months? But then I realized something. If I don't go, they'll blame me. If I do go, I can finally show them the truth. I whispered to myself, go, walk in with your head high. Little did I know, I was walking into betrayal deeper than I ever imagined. Christmas night. Snow falling softly. Car lights glowing in the driveway. I wore a simple beige sweater, jeans, and the necklace Mia gave me for protection. When I reached the door, I heard laughter inside, warm, happy, but the moment I opened it, everything changed. The room fell silent. My mom froze mid-pour of wine. My father stood near the tree, looking guilty. And sitting comfortably on the sofa was Jason, wearing a perfectly ironed shirt, smiling, looking like he belonged there. He stood up. Hi, he said softly. I've missed you. My world tilted. My father stepped between us quickly like he was the mediator. Let's all stay calm, he said. It's Christmas, my mother whispered. Sweetheart, don't make a scene. I hadn't said a single word. Not even one, and yet, they were already blaming me. Then my father touched Jason's shoulder and said, your family too. My heart shattered. Not just cracked, shattered. They chose him, over me. In front of me. And that's when the real story began. Stop here. Everyone stared at me like I was the unexpected guest. I could still feel the cold December air on my skin. My fingers shook, but I didn't want to give Jason the satisfaction of seeing fear. He stepped toward me. Emily, please. Can we just talk? Like we were old friends? My mom placed her hand on his arm, and said gently, we just want peace tonight, peace. At the cost of my safety, I took a breath, steady and sharp. I didn't come here for him, I said. I came for my family. My father's jaw tightened. You're being emotional again. There it was. The sentence that every abused woman hears. The sentence that minimizes everything. I turned to my dad. Voice trembling, he screamed in my face until the police came. He broke my confidence, my mental health. Dad cut me off. That's between you two. We're not taking sides, but they already had. Jason stepped forward, rehearsed sadness in his eyes. I'm in therapy now, he said. I've changed. I want to apologize for everything. I looked at my parents. They were smiling at him. My dad looked proud. My mom's eyes glowed like she was watching a redemption movie. But I saw something they didn't. Jason wasn't apologizing. He was performing. Can we talk in private? He asked. No, I said instantly. My family gasped like I was being unreasonable. Mom whispered sharply, Emily, don't be rude. Rude? He abused me. I survived. And I was rude. My chest tightened. This wasn't just betrayal. This was erasure. I looked around the room. The Christmas tree lights flickered. Ornaments sparkled. The fireplace crackled. Everything looked warm. But I had never felt colder. My father spoke in a calm but firm tone. If you can't be respectful tonight, maybe you should leave. I froze. Leave? From my own home? From my own family? The room spun. I felt Mia's hand suddenly grab mine. She whispered, you're not going alone. But I shook my head. No. This was my moment. My voice was soft but strong. So let me understand this. You invited my abuser. You defended him. You comforted him. And now you're asking me to leave? Dad didn't answer. Silence is still an answer. Jason stepped closer again, whispering, you know your dad's right. That was it. I grabbed my coat slowly. My tears burned, but I didn't let them fall. Enjoy your Christmas, I said quietly. You've made your choice, Mom gasped. Dad looked away. Jason smirked, thinking he'd won, but then something unexpected happened. Just as I reached the door, I heard it stop. It was my grandmother, the one person who had said nothing all night. She stood up slowly. Leaning on her cane, her voice shaking with fury, I have sat silently, watching all of you shame this girl, she said. And I will not watch another minute. Everyone froze. Grandma walked right up to Jason, looked him dead in the eye. I know what you did, she said. I heard the voicemails you left her. I saw her come to my house shaking like a leaf. My dad stuttered, Mom, she raised her hand sharply. No, you listen. The entire room fell silent. Grandma continued, this girl is your daughter. Blood of your blood. And you welcomed the man who hurt her into your home. On Christmas, my father turned red. Jason looked annoyed now. The mask was slipping. Grandma took my hand gently. Emily, sweetheart, you're not leaving alone. I'm coming with you. Then she looked at the rest of them, her children, her grandchildren, and said, you should all be ashamed. The cold night air hit my face like freedom. Grandma held my arm as we walked to my car. People confuse forgiveness with stupidity, she said. You can forgive in your heart. But you don't invite the devil to dinner. I finally cried. Not because of Jason, but because someone had chosen me. We spent Christmas Eve at her house, eating leftover pie, watching an old Hallmark movie. Wrapped in blankets, I felt safe for the first time that night. My phone buzzed. Non-stop, messages from Mom, from Dad, even from Jason, all ignored. I put my head on Grandma's shoulder. Why would they do that to me? I whispered, because some people prefer convenience over truth, she said softly. You threaten the story they tell themselves. The next morning, something unexpected happened. Mia knocked on Grandma's door with a suitcase. I'm staying here too, she said. They don't get to push you out and pretend they're the victims by afternoon. My father called again, this time sounding desperate. Please come home, he said. We didn't mean it like that, but I finally found my voice. I'm not coming back to a place where my safety comes second to your comfort. He tried to argue, tried to shift blame. Tried everything, but I didn't bend. Not this time. A year passed. I rebuilt my life. Started therapy. Got a better job. Moved to a brighter apartment. I even adopted a rescue dog. My family eventually apologized, real apologies. Not the forced ones, but things never went back to how they were. They couldn't. Betrayal changes the foundation. Grandma, Mia, and I created our own small holiday traditions, homemade cookies, cheap ornaments, late-night movies. And a lot of laughter. We call it the House of Survivors. If you're a woman who's been abused, if your family didn't believe you, if people told you to just be nice, if they protected your abuser because he was charming, hear me. You are not dramatic. You are not the problem. And walking away is strength, not disrespect. Family isn't the people who share your blood. Family is the people who protect your soul. On that Christmas night, I didn't lose my family. I found the real one.